Okay, in this video we're going to do the complete the mobile app project. The URL is available on the website. If you, we're going to be building an app that looks like this. And if you look at this on your phone, it opens up. It uses the geolocation service on your phone, figures out your address, and then it looks up who the elected officials are at that location. And so this button works when you move. You can click the button again. You can change the address here if you want to. And this gives you a different set of people. So that's what we'll be building. And to do this, we're going to be using the Ionic Creator app, which looks like this. And so you're going to want to sign up for that. On the back end, we're going to be using an API that I wrote. And this API, it's accessible here. You're able to either enter in the geo coordinates, and it returns a record array that contains the districts and who the mayor is and who the House member is and who the senator is and who the congressional person is, and also who the city council person is. Or you can also enter in just an address, and it returns the same information but for that particular address. This address happens to be in the Big Island. Billy Canoy is the mayor. Richard Cregan is the House person, and so on. So these are the instructions here, and so we're just going to go through these step by step. So to begin with, we open up our creator.ionic.io. And if you look on Lolima, you'll see a promo code there where you can upgrade to the regular version, which you'll need to add code for just $9 a month. And so I've got my projects view open here, and I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to name the project Hawaii Electeds. And it's going to be a blank project, create. And this opens up. Step 2 is name the page. So right up here, name it Hawaii Electeds. And step 3 is to add a button. So I'm going to scroll down here and find a button. Here it is. And I'm going to set the text of that button to tap to get the current location. I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. And the settings here now, I'm going to add a angular directive, and you have to pay for the full version to be able to add angular directives, but basically it's going to be down here. It makes the button do something. I'm going to add an ng click that does get lat longer. Gets the latitude and the longitude settings. And this is actually a function that we're going to add later. Next, we're going to add a paragraph. And this paragraph is going to display the latitude and the longitude when it's looked up. So I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to paste that in right here. And I'm going to center that so we see that there. Next, we're going to add a container, and this is going to be a row that contains the street address. That's going to be down here. So let me do that. Container, and that is a row. And then I'm going to add another container in there. And I'm going to set this to call-25. I'm going to put another one in there, and I'm going to make that call-25. And I'm going to put the third one in and also name class call-25. Now these are 3 cells here that are 25% wide. The middle one I'm going to make 50. Okay, and then inside here I'm going to put input text boxes. So let me do that. The first one is going to be where the house number is. So let me clear this out and put a number sign placeholder there. And I'm going to connect this to the house number data item, which we'll see later. And I'm also going to do one other thing. I'm going to set the padding so everything fits more nicely. So here I'm going to do add style padding, zeros all the way around. Okay, so that'll be my house number, and then I'm going to do another one for street name. And that's going to be ng model data street. And I also want the style padding 0 all the way around. And one more. This is the zip code. And this will be connected to data zip. And again, I'm going to take away the borders, the padding. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a button. That's going to say tap to get electeds from address. And that is going to invoke this function when it's clicked. And we're going to add one more button at the bottom. Really kind of unnecessary, but let's put it in. It's a reload button. And that's simply going to link back to itself. I'm going to link it through the secure server. And make sure that this is your username. So that's right here. Make sure this is your username. Okay, and now in between here, I'm going to add a container. No, I'm going to add a list container list item. And I'm going to get rid of this paragraph. And I'm going to put another container in there. And that's going to be a row. And inside there, I'm going to put one container, which is going to be 34%. And inside there, I'm going to put an image. And that image is going to display the picture of the person. So that's going to be right here. and I'm going to make it full width and left aligned. And I'm going to add another container over here, and that's going to be call 66. And I'm also going to right text align it. Okay. And inside there, I'm going to put HTML right there. Okay, now I will fill. I'm going to, that's sort of my template for for an elected official. Let me put this in here. This is for the House. Copy. And this is in the HTML here. Get rid of this and paste that in there. And so this is going to display the picture. And then this is going to display the first and last name, the party, the title, the district, the area, the phone number, and the room. If we actually look at what one of these looks like, we see what we're talking about here is the first and last name, the area, this is the image URL, and phone and fax and so on. We can see that this is actually the picture of somebody here. If we go here and put that there, and I think we need to get rid of this one. Let's see, that's actually a picture of somebody. So, and so that's what's going to display there. Okay, now we have this here, and we want to actually, there's a list container here, and we want to actually make 3 more of them. So I'm just going to click this duplicate button here. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got 4 of them, and I am right here. I've just duplicated it 3 times, and now I'm going to replace the first one, the first duplicate. I'm going to replace House with Senate, and then with Congress and with Mayor. So I'm going to use, I'm going to make it a little easier on myself, and I'm going to use Notepad. So I'm going to open up Notepad here, and let me copy this in. This is what I'm going to start with. And first of all, I'm going to change all the House to Senate and replace all. Okay, and now I can copy this and go back here and paste it into the second one right here. And let me also change this picture to Senate. Okay, let's go down to the next one, and let's make this one, change it from Senate to Congress, and select this, and go down to the third one and paste this here, and make sure this says Congress. And then let's go down to the fourth one and go back here and change Congress to Mayor. And I'm also going to remove the party affiliation. Okay, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to make sure this picture says Mayor. Okay. So I think I'm done with the front here. And so I've done these things. Okay, so now it's time to add the code. So to add the code, you go down here and you click code. And this is the code section. We're going to add code to the page. This is page code. And then we're going to also add 2 services right here. So let's add the page code. And that's just this. I've given it to you. So let me copy it first over, and then I'll say a couple things about it. Copy, and I'm just going to replace this here. I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm just going to go select, delete, paste. And what we have here is this is where our data variables go, like data congress and so on. And these are geolocation options. It enables high accuracy and so on, some timeouts. This is the function that gets the latitude and the longitude, and basically it uses the geolocation get current position service that's available in your browser. This actually invokes the function, so when you start it up, it's going to get the location right away. This is a delay function. Actually, what we do is when we get the geolocation, we get it once, and then we delay for 1 second, and then we get it again. And that sort of adds some stability to it, especially when it starts up. And then this actually calls the get lat long function service, which is actually this here. This is get lat long. It calls this service here. This calls that. And this saves the position whenever it gets a geolocation. It saves the position. There's an error function here that just displays up an error. This here, this is the function that is used to actually call the service, gets back the data, and it stores it in these data variables here. And this does the same thing when we're doing it for an address. And if you recall, when you click on this, it gets it from the geo coordinates, but when it clicks on this, it just gets it from the address. Okay, so that's that code. And so now we need to add the services here. So let's click here, and we're going to put those services in. The first service is what actually calls the service to get the latitude and the longitude, and the second service is what actually calls to get from the house number, street, and zip. Just a note here, this is a special key that I've set up for this semester for my students this semester. After this semester, though, if you want this to continue to work, you're going to have to get a Google API key, and you just plug that in there. It's quite a bit longer, but you can just plug that in there, and that works. Anyway, let's copy these 2 services. Copy. And go over to here, and I'm going to put them right in between there. I'm going to paste, and there they are. Okay. I think that's all we need to do. So let's save it. And let's run this and see what it looks like. And there we go. It looks like it works. So here I have my house guy, my senator, Congressman Takai, who's passed away, and Mayor Caldwell. So let's our app works. It looks pretty good. You should test it out. Try some things.